Hey you guys, it's me, Katie B, and today's book review is one that was originally recommended to me via Twitter. I had a call out several months ago now, and this one was recommended. And then on top of that, I put out a poll with 4 options and to choose, put a vote in for one of them, and this one had a resounding majority for today's review. And that one is The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. Yeah. I was really excited to actually read this one because I'd heard about the movie, and while I kind of glossed over it at the time, coming back to it after being recommended it was kind of like, oh, yay, I'm looking forward to this. So I'll read you the synopsis and then I will give you my review. Here is a small fact. You are going to die. 1939, Nazi Germany. The country is holding its breath. Death has never been busier. Liesel, a 9-year-old girl, is living with a foster family on Himmel Street. Her parents have been taken away to a concentration camp. Liesel steals books. This is her story, and the story of the inhabitants of her street when the bombs begin to fall. Some important information. This novel is narrated by Death. It's a small story about a girl, an accordionist, some fanatical Germans, a Jewish fish fighter, and quite a lot of thievery. Another thing you should know. Death will visit the book thief 3 times. Sounds awesome. I mean, for me, I only managed to read, for looking at the synopsis, I read the kind of first bit and glossed over the second bit, so I wasn't sure what I was expecting when I got into it. And then I found that Death was narrating, and I was like, ooh, I like the take on it. Instead of going from inside the protagonist's thoughts, you're going from an outsider's view on it. And for that outsider to be Death was a really, really interesting and unique way of telling it as well, especially since it's at the time of the Second World War, which has had so many people lose their lives, and he would have been incredibly busy. Would have been Death. He would. And yeah, so it was quite interesting to kind of see Liesel's story told from his perspective, but written down by Liesel, because I think she wrote the story for him, really, from what I can decipher from this, having read this. And it had me hooked from the start. It's a little bit of a slow burner at first, but I was engaged and I didn't mind that it was a slow burner. Sometimes you kind of have books that are slow burners to start off with, and you're kind of like, oh come on, I got something to do better than to read this. But yet this actually engaged me and delighted me, and I was just struck by how amazing this book was, and wow. I am quite literally speechless. Which isn't good for a verbal book reviewer. So, But it is amazing, and I can see why it has lasted for so long and why they're doing a 10th anniversary. They've done a 10th anniversary kind of Kindle edition of it, and because it is an incredible book, and I definitely enjoyed it, and I really liked Liesel, and I liked how Death saw her, and I loved her friendship with Rudy, and I loved her with Hans, and it was just so beautifully told. Honestly, you guys should absolutely read it. Thank you so much to the person who recommended it to me, because it blew my mind. Quite literally blew my mind. And I was just kind of sitting there afterwards kind of going, why haven't I read this sooner? Because it was just awe-inspiring. I loved it. Okay. I'm deliriously happy, I'm tired, and yeah, I just really enjoyed reading this, so you guys should absolutely pick this up. I will put the links to it down below. And yet again, thank you to the person who recommended it to me. It was amazing. Seriously. I mean, having it set in Nazi Germany and having it told by death and having Liesel just be so enthralled with words and... oh, read it. Really, honestly, read it. Go on, go and read it. Please. Okay. Bye-bye. I'll see you in the next episode then.